I wanted to share with you all a little bit about this concept of experiential marketing and how we can utilize this tool to make a difference in the world, and how we've been doing that with wellness sourcing. It's a really important message that can hopefully help a lot of people in their business. Many of you that I've tried to include in this are involved in wellness, whether it be yoga or nutrition or drum circle facilitation, and looking at ways that we can begin to transform our world is very important for us. And finding the correct revenue streams to be the financial engine, to be the catalyst for that transformation is something that many of us have been frustrated with. We may have a heart that is just really hungry for changing the world, and unfortunately we haven't been able to find the means of fuel for the engine of that transformation. So I'm going to share with you some opportunity here to kind of look at maybe a different kind of revenue stream, one that maybe you haven't thought about. Or all right, back to the conversation. So experiential marketing. What is experiential marketing? Well, those of us that have been involved in creating festivals and creating engagements with community, we know that experience is at the heart of everything that we do. And I really feel like it's at the heart of most people in our contemporary culture. Most people are really to the point of enoughism, as far as at least the people in my circle. They're into purchasing goods and services, but being very strategic about how they do commerce and how they enter into the marketplace. We are more informed than we have ever been as people. We look up what the businesses that we're doing, we're exchanging currency with, what their motivation is behind their business, what their morals are they aligned with us and the issues that we care about. This is very important for us as we go into a conscious economy, as we leave this idea of production for the means of consumption and enter into an engagement with production for the means of restoration, producing to restore people, families, community, and the planet. So I want to talk to you about a vehicle of experiential marketing that I feel will resonate with many people in our community in a way that you can access a financial engine and a revenue stream that can hopefully take your dream of transforming the lives of people and their wellness and community and make it a reality. So what is experiential marketing? Experiential marketing in essence is event marketing, but there's something more to it in the idea of capturing an experience around the brand or the organization. So if you look at companies like Tide, for instance, I'm going to use this as an analogy and an example. Tide sells laundry detergent. Now, I don't use Tide, but they are a very popular laundry detergent company. And what they've done is they've created an experience around their brand for people that are going through the tragedy of hurricanes or the tragedy of a natural disaster. And what they will do is they will bring in trucks. These are semi-trucks that cost millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even just for the equipment, and then millions of dollars to produce the event. And they will bring these semi-trucks into a community that doesn't have power, that doesn't have access to their laundry, that doesn't have the ability to wash their clothes. And they will wash their clothes for free, utilizing Tide's brand as a vehicle for the financial piece of the business. So I want to talk to you about ways that we as a community can begin to utilize these sorts of concepts into making what we do with our lives, what we share, the gifts, the talents, the treasures that we share with community, and looking at companies that will align themselves with that process to transform our world. So we have the example of Tide, right? Tide going into hurricane damaged, devastated communities and using their brand as a way of creating brand image and also helping people with dirty clothes. I mean, that's awesome. That is a really great way of looking at experiential marketing. Another maybe not so great way, or maybe it's just an example and we shouldn't get into the good or bad, but there are companies that utilize alcohol, and they will create an entire scene. There's companies out there that during the Super Bowl will buy an entire hotel and turn it into an experience around their alcohol, around their beverage, around their beer. You know, they'll go as far as to making branded toilet paper, so that when you're in the room, the VIP or the influencer that's in the room, they go to do their business and they look and there's a logo of that brand on the toilet paper. Another organization that did something that was pretty awesome was a toilet paper manufacturer. Speaking of toilet paper, they went into Times Square during the Christmas season and they set up these beautiful porta potties that were amazing during New York's peak shopping time. They made these beautiful porta potties that had an amazing experience around their toilet paper. So companies are looking at ways that they can create an experience around their brand. And there's one industry specifically that I want to talk about that I feel has an immense amount of liquid finance that could help us as a conscious community make the next step into creating an experience for ourselves and for those members that are maybe less fortunate, those members of our community that are at risk, and those members of our community that really don't have some of the necessary tools, even simple necessary tools, such as conscious breathing. Me and Monica go into low-income retirement communities and senior centers, psychiatric hospitals. We go into cancer facilities, about 1 to 5 communities a day. Today we did 4 drum circles. We did skilled nursing, we did memory care, we did assisted living, and independent living. Now I'm just using my company as an example, right, of going into the community and engaging with wellness. We're teaching the elders breathing practices. We're teaching them visualization, meditation, guided imagery. We're doing sound healing with them. Some of the things that we experience within the festival culture, within the gatherings, within all of these great kind of counterculture experiences, we're taking it into the contemporary. We're taking it into the community and transforming lives. Now, we work primarily with retirement communities. A lot of them are high-end, but we've also been able to go into low-income communities, senior centers, and community centers and do these programs. And how were we able to initially start that? This is where I'm going to start to break down this concept of experiential marketing and how you could potentially utilize some of the tools that we've learned for your yoga practice, for your nutrition practice, for your drum circle facilitation practice, for all of the different vehicles of meditation and encouragement and wellness that you want to bring to the community, that you want to utilize to transform lives, that you want to utilize to make a difference. And we started a program several years ago with 2 different insurance carriers. Now, these were insurance carriers that provided health insurance. And they were, of course, aligned with our message of wellness, of going into the community and transforming lives. What we did was we did brand engagements, and we would go into community centers and we would set up our drum circle. And in turn, they would have a table there with a banner and some business cards on it. It wasn't a sales pitch. Basically, what we were doing is we were creating an experience around the brand. And in turn, this began to foster a deep relationship with the community. We began to be able to go into low-income senior centers, to go into urban housing communities, basically project buildings, and do these programs because the funding was coming from the insurance companies. Now, insurance companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on marketing. Traditional marketing is really one of the avenues that they do. I mean, we can look at and we can see Geico, you know, for instance, $500 million they're spending, right, on TV advertisements to get that lizard in front of people. Now, what if we were to take a sliver of that marketing budget and put it into community outreach and wellness programs? And that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about you taking your business, your wellness-based business, and turning it into connecting with the right people to create a financial engine that can lift up the community, transform lives, and get these programs into the everyday life of people out there that normally wouldn't have an access point to these technologies and these ancient wisdoms. You know, we go in and we work with elders that have never taken a conscious breath. You know, some of the elders that we work with haven't learned how to visualize themselves in a way of abundance. They haven't learned how to visualize their life in a way of taking control of their wellness. And in turn, they're giving over their wellness to the medical industry. They're giving over their wellness to their doctor. And unfortunately, it is a taxation on the totality of medicine in our country. So I'm reaching out to you today to give you these principles in a way that I hope will transform our community and help people heal and be more vibrant in their lives. So the number two, right, that if you notice here, I'm going to try to stay on track. The difference, I kind of explained what experiential marketing is, and I gave a couple ideas and concepts that are being used right now. What is different than experiential marketing and traditional marketing? So traditional marketing is your television ads, your radio ads, your billboards, your magazines. These are forms of traditional marketing. Experiential marketing is making a one-on-one connection with the community. It's actually, what I would say is the origin of marketing, right? It's the real way of connecting to the community in a way of showing your goods and your services to real people that are going to benefit from that service of your wellness-based business. So I'm going to talk about ways to design an experiential marketing event. And I'm going to use drumming sounds as an example. So currently we're working with a couple Medicare, we're working with 3 different Medicare brokers. These Medicare brokers, right, benefit from reaching out and connecting to the community. Now you can take this and you can look at it. I'm open to asking questions as well, or answering questions as we go. So we're going to talk about luxury apartment complexes. And this is one that I haven't gotten into yet, but I feel there is a major void for wellness programs in luxury apartment complexes, and something that you potentially as a yoga instructor or a person that does nutrition or Tai Chi or guided imagery or sound healing could go in and tomorrow start creating an experiential marketing event for a luxury apartment complex. So how would you approach a luxury apartment complex with what you do? All right, you want to look at your social media footprint. Okay, that's one of the key areas that you can help you can help create an authority for yourself, right, in the area of community. You can begin to identify how many Facebook friends do you have. That's one piece of data, right? The total of all of the videos, the views of your videos in the past year. Some of us, that's up into the thousands of views, right? What are the total followers that you have online? So these are some of the very simple ways that you can begin to create yourself as a strategic partner for a luxury apartment complex. So you're identifying your social footprint, you're identifying your ability to create access to the community. And then you're going to look at, how do I design my wellness program to create a vehicle for brand fortification, the fortification of the luxury apartment complex? Well, you're going to talk to the people that are selling the luxury apartment complex, and you're going to say to them, I'm a yoga instructor, I'm a trained yoga instructor. I've worked at XYZ Yoga Studio, and I would love to come in and utilize your facility to do a free yoga demonstration for your existing residents and your prospects. You could invite them to this yoga experience, this meditation experience, and they could benefit from this wellness program. And in turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to partner with you, and I'm going to bring your company into the metaphor. I'm going to design it in a way that speaks the language of what you offer, the services that you offer in that luxury apartment complex. So you're going to say, okay, Paradise Valley Village, we want to let the community know that Paradise Valley Village cares about your wellness. We want to thank them for funding this event, for being our partners and sponsoring us to bring in this yoga event to the community. This yoga event is free for all of the all the people who live in this community, and also future residents of this community and the community at large. It's been posted on Facebook, and we have people who are here from that event. In the middle of the event, right, when you're getting into your yoga practice, you're going to again identify them as a partner and a sponsor. And then at the end, you're going to lead the participants. You're going to facilitate an experience of giving thanks to the sponsor by interacting with them with a handshake. So this is how we can, a handshake and a connection. So this is how we can begin to look at wellness practices in a way that are going to find funding from these marketing budgets. Luxury apartment complexes are spending millions of dollars on advertisement that people are tuning out. We as people in our contemporary culture are very savvy about what we listen to and what we don't. We tune out the videos on Facebook that are advertisement. We tune out the videos on YouTube. Television, most of us aren't even watching anymore. Print, you know, we don't even look at those ads anymore. Billboards, it's not viable in today's market. But experience is. And experience is very valuable. And you can utilize your wellness practice to make a difference in the community and not have to charge people for those wellness activities. You're not going to have to go in and try to set up and get some small cut, right, of what the studio is going to pay you. I've heard studios offering 20% to the yoga instructor. You know, these are, and it's because they have to pay their rent, they have to keep the lights on, and they also have to support the owner of that. Now, if you're cutting all of that out and you're getting paid from the marketing budget, you can set your dollar fee at whatever you feel is appropriate. So that's one example of how to design an experiential marketing event. Now, here's something very important. I want to touch on this, and this is tracking the responses from the event. Making sure that you are keeping track of the total views of your event, right? If you take that yoga practice and you set up your phone and you go live with that, you want to look at the lives. You want to look at how it's been continued in the live. What are the actual numbers of people that have viewed that event? How you are integrating the community into that, and then of course you want to have an email list and a sign-up sheet for your next event to invite them to your next wherever it may be. And you also want to track the amount of people that feel engaged and the feelings that they get from it. You want to make sure and ask at the end of your program, how many of you feel better than when you first began this practice? How many of you feel like this has helped you in your life? Let the sponsor know how they have impacted the community and track it with as much data as possible. These are very important for you. Also, you could work a commission in on that. What do I mean by that? Well, if someone comes to your yoga practice at a luxury apartment complex and they turn into a resident, their first and last month's rent and a security deposit and a cleaning fee are now up for you to negotiate a compensation or an incentive from. So if you're bringing them new people and new prospects and they're turning into residents, right, you could ask the community, you could say, okay, I want to know everybody from this event that turned into a resident. And if they do, could you give me a $50 compensation for that event? This is ways that you could begin to rack up your financial income and begin to live the life that you want to live without taxing the people that are experiencing your wellness program. All of us that are working in, for lack of a better term, the healing arts, there's a sort of feeling inside of us, right, when we are challenged to be able to give our services to those individuals that don't have the economic resources to purchase those practices from us, to purchase our knowledge. And there's a resistance there, right? We struggle with it at times. I know this because I've struggled with it. You know, I want to go out and work with low-income communities. I want to work in project buildings. I want to work in areas that don't have this medicine. You know, I want to be able to touch lives of people that don't have the ability financially to pay for these events, but yet have a need and a gratitude in their hearts. And that's what we experience when we're able to bring these wellness programs to low-income communities and have those wellness programs paid for by a financial engine and a fuel for that vehicle, right, that is not on the back of the individuals that are participating. So this is a very key point, and it should motivate you in wanting to be a part of this movement in a way. You know, I'm trying to convey to you strategies that can create a movement of transforming our communities. So number 6, right, on my list, now I'm staying as on track as I can, and if you have questions, you know, please put them in the comments here, because I will try to get back to those as best as I can. But number 6 is affecting community influencers. Now, if you're working, most of you on this feed and those of you that are sharing it, You already are a community influencer. I want you to begin to get that inside of you that, you know, I am a community influencer. I'm influencing people with my social media footprint, and I'm influencing people in the contemporary culture, like outside of social media. I'm influencing lives. I am an influencer. But inside of every container, right, of where you want to strategically align yourself, there are influencers inside of that that can boost up your wellness practice. They can boost up your ability to market to others. Now, I'm going to use drumming sounds as an example here because we took, you know, a dream. Myself, I say we because it's the community that supported me and supported Monica in our vision here for this lifestyle. But, you know, I started drumming in 1994. I went to a full moon drum circle in Portland, Oregon on the top of Mount Tabor. I fell in love with drumming. Years later, you know, I've been in business now for close to 10 years as a professional drum circle facilitator. And the community has supported this, but it took strategic alliance and influencers to be the catalyst for drumming sounds to take a dream and turn it into a lifestyle and a way to live, you know, and to have abundance and to have cars that are paid off and to have, you know, the ability to go travel the world and show up at festivals and not pay and get paid by the festival. I mean, this amazing lifestyle that me and Monica live and you see on our Facebook feed, it's because of strategic alliances. And how do we get into the lives of influencers? Federico says, do you have a transcript or a written list of the steps you can email us? No, but I can work with you one-on-one, Jose, and I already have vision for working with you one-on-one in ways that we can begin to facilitate your cacao ceremonies and get those necessary financial pieces, the currency to flow into your life, and for you to live in that abundant flow that I feel the Creator has for you, Jose. I already have the vision for it, and we're going to work it out. We just need to connect and set aside some time in the schedule to make that happen. And I will give you a process, a 1, 2, 3 kind of outline if we can work individually. Oh, Verno Bia. Oh my gosh, Vern. Hey, Vern. Good to see you. This man right here really is a part of this whole movement experience on a academic level. He's a professor and introduced me to the Aztec Awards, which thank you so much. Again, you know, man, this is a great example seeing Vern on here, you know, a strategic alliance, right? Well, Vern, actually, Phoenix Zoo called me up and said, hey, we want to do a drum circle for a major event. This was the Aztec Awards. These were awards given to large-scale festivals and events in the state of Arizona. We're talking about the Super Bowl committee and the 100 years of Arizona being a state. I mean, we're talking about events that have a multi-million-dollar impact on the community. And I was able to facilitate a drum circle for these this group of influencers, again, key influencers in the community. These are people that are going to take drumming sounds and they're going to talk to their county, they're going to talk to their state, they're going to talk to their city. And because of that, I think that day we booked 3 gigs at that event. I did it for free monetarily, but I did it with the motivation of utilizing that experience to market myself to key influencers in the community. We've done this with drumming sounds. I was the keynote for the Arizona Senior Center Association twice, the Arizona Therapeutic Recreation Association, the Arizona Assisted Living Federation Association I spoke at twice. I did a facilitated experience there. The Arizona Senior Activity Coordinators Association twice, keynote presentation. You see, these are strategic alliances with key influencers in the community that brought drumming sounds up. We marketed our experience to these organizations that then in turn got us paid gigs. And this is what I'm trying to get you motivated to look at. What are the key influencers in your community that you can begin to align yourself to get into those populations? You may want to present your wellness program, your meditation, your nutrition class to these key influencers for free, monetarily for free, right? With adding in the marketing value. And this is going to really benefit you. This is going to help you reach an audience that's very important. So Nikki asks, how would someone that offers coaching and restoration facilitation incorporate these techniques? Great, I'm going to get back to that because that's a very key. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and take that one right now, Nikki. So if you're looking at key influencers and you are providing coaching, right, and you want to do events online, you want to find individuals that are in your network that are associated with the populations of the people that you want to serve. So if you're going to do it, if your coaching practice, right, is broad, okay, if you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to coach, what I do will help everyone, right? That's a great way of coming into the sphere, right? But you want to be more strategic, because the more strategic that you get, right, the more you are going to have an ability to create a strategic alliance with those organizations. And I would say in your coaching, okay, women's empowerment, excellent. So, okay, let's get even more specific, Nikki. What inside of women's empowerment are you looking for? Is there an organization that works with women that have been abused? Is there an organization that works with women that have been homeless? Is there an organization that works with women that have gone through some sort of trauma? Get more specific, and then look at the organization. If there's a conference that you can get into, if there's a place where you can begin to offer your services to a broad spectrum, if there's a platform that you can begin to get yourself in front of those key influencers, that's where you're going to make a decision for strategic alliance. And you are going to find that when you do that, you may offer your services for free to those groups, but in turn, they are going to network you with the right individuals that are going to turn that marketing event. Now look at it, it's a marketing event now, right? For you, into financial resources for your company. So now this is, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get back to using marketing dollars to make a difference in the world, the edge that the insurance industry can create. Now, what's going on with the insurance industry right now in the United States? Well, hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent on advertising. And I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the video. But I feel like there's something here that all of us can listen to, okay? There's a conversation around this that we can all listen to. If insurance companies are spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising and even lead generation, some of the insurance companies, the brokers that I've talked to, they're paying $25, $30 for a lead that has already been called from an online resource. These online leads that they're buying to make calls on could potentially, that amount of marketing dollars could turn into benefiting you for just one event. If you're a yoga instructor and you're getting paid $65, $70, even $100 for an event at your local yoga studio, or if you're working at LA Fitness and you're getting paid $35 for a yoga class or a Tai Chi class or a Qigong class, because that's what LA Fitness and a lot of these companies that are out there are paying people that are involved in wellness. If you're getting $100 to $200 an hour for your yoga class, isn't that a vehicle that you would like to find? And this is what you could do with lead generation for some of these insurance companies. If you were to just go into your community and you were to say, hey, I'm going to do a free yoga in the park and I'm going to do a sign up list. And if, you're going to say to your community, hey, how many of you are interested in purchasing health insurance or auto insurance? Would you like to hear from this partner, the sponsor of my program here? And in turn, what you can do is you can begin to create relationship with the industries that will benefit you. Now, insurance is just one of them. Like for instance, with Jose Federico offers cacao ceremonies. So I'm working with him to come up with a strategic alliance with an organization that produces cacao, that is reputable, that does that is environmentally conscious, is fair trade conscious. There's so many companies out there that we could utilize to promote those industries through our wellness practice that could make a difference in the world. Now, Nikki's adding, if you hop on now, be sure to watch this from beginning when you can. Yeah, for sure, because there's a lot of information we're going over here. Okay, now metaphors, right? This is important because one of the things that you really need to understand when you're designing your experiential marketing program is how you can create metaphors around the brand that you have aligned yourself with. Now, with Drumming Sounds, right, we're very strategic about who we bring into our scene. We don't want to just work with anybody out there. We're very strategic about the companies that we align ourselves with because, first of all, we want to keep ourselves in that place of being an influencer in the community before the dollars, right? That's more important. Our integrity to people like you is much more important than the dollar amount that could come in from an outside organization. So be strategic with who you partner with. Look at the company profile. Listen to the videos of the CEO on YouTube. Do your research. Do your due diligence. Find those connections in the community with people that you vibe with. Find your tribe. Find that vibrational frequency for you to connect with them. And in turn, you can turn their company's marketing budget into opportunities for you to facilitate community experiences that will transform our world and bring us closer to that place of unifying as a community and living well. How do you roll a metaphor into a wellness program? It's simply about the exchange of reciprocity with your sponsor. You want to make sure that that sponsor is recognized throughout the facilitation of that wellness program, whether it's at the beginning or the end, or if you can, in the middle of the event, even create a metaphorical type of conceptualization of the feeling that's associated with your experience and the brand identity. Something really simple is this company cares about your wellness. That sort of idea and concept is going to be very relevant inside of your wellness program because they're the ones that are sponsoring it. They're the ones that are paying you to be there. Now, for instance, if you were able to, and I'm going to go back to Nikki here because she's been really great about sharing this message with people, and I thank you, Nikki, for that. So if you're doing coaching for women's empowerment, right, and you have an opportunity, and this is something that I'm kind of looking at with Wellness Source or with Drumming Sounds. So I was invited to do the Arizona Senior Center Association conference. So what did I do? I found an organization that has goods and services that benefit seniors, and then I got them to sponsor me, right, to do a 1-hour presentation at the Arizona Senior Center Association. I didn't charge the Arizona Senior Center Association anything for that keynote, but I was paid $1,500 for 1 hour of being a keynote presenter by an organization that benefited from having exposure to that group of people. Now, for instance, if you're doing a women's empowerment event, you know, and you're working with an organization that provides, let's say they provide a supplement that helps women's health, and you call up this organization and you know that they have, let's say they have 300 key influencers in the community. You could then say to them, hey, I would like to do a keynote presentation for your group of women. And they're gonna say, that sounds great. You know, what's your budget? You know, you're gonna ask them those things and you're gonna say, well, guess what? You don't have to worry about it because I already have a partner that is gonna sponsor me to come in. What I need to do is I just need to have a banner and acknowledge them as the sponsor. You see, so these are ways that you could begin to create an experience around your influence in the community, and then in turn turn it into a sponsorship opportunity for a company that you feel is a part of your tribe, a company that is providing goods and services that you know merit your key influence in the community, that merit you as an individual to be a spokesperson for them. This is happening all over the internet, and it's happening in real life. Trust me, this is like the next level of marketing, and this is what communities are looking for. You know, if you don't have a spreadsheet in your bio of your, especially Nikki, this is going to be really good for you because you can go through all of your videos and you can look at your videos, and I've done this with myself, and you can look at 1,700 views, 600 views, 700 views, to 2,500 views. And what I want you to do is take the last 6 months of the totality of all of the views on your Facebook Live, the totality of all the views on your YouTube, and I want you to put that into your bio. Put that into your bio. Put that in there. Put the amount of friends you have. Put the groups that you're involved in online. And these are going to be tools that are going to help you get those sponsorships that are going to create a financial engine for your dreams and your vision. See, that's amazing. 250,000 views over the past year. That should be a part of your bio. That should be a part of you sending a one page to the communities that you want to serve. So, okay, here's another thing. Location, 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 placement of the engagement, right? If you're doing an engagement, like for instance, you're doing an engagement that is geared for families, right? And you're doing it at a rave, and there are no families there. That is not the location that you want to do your engagement. You want to do your engagement in a location that benefits the sponsor and gets them the exposure that is going to help them reach those audiences that really make a difference in their business. And I'm open to some hypotheticals, and I'm open to talking to you if you want to share with me what your practice is and ways that we could look at that. That's just my videos and not including my blogs and written posts. Amazing, Nikki, amazing. That's really influential, and it's something that you can begin to strategically utilize in the way of bringing a revenue stream into your life pretty easily. You know, it's something that you can begin to tomorrow start to utilize. I don't know if what you use for your marketing. Right now I'm using Sway, and I'll actually pull up my Sway, one of my Sway proposals here so that you guys can see it, and I'll share it with you, and you can see how what we're doing is in the presentation format. So this is a link to one of our campaigns that me and Monica are working on right now. This is an experiential marketing presentation for the solar industry. Something that we feel very passionate about. We feel that energy is one of the next revolutions in sovereignty. So we're aligning ourselves with that. You've just been using word of mouth and social media. Excellent. Stephanie, do you have any questions about your practice and how we can begin to look at ways to incorporate that into this vehicle of experiential marketing? If you do, I'm open to that. So this is, this is what I do. I use Sway. Sway is very convenient. You can also get into Canva. Canva has a free tool on there, and these are some video apps. We just went to a big social media conference, and I'll read you these. So Video Shop is one, Adobe Photoshop Express, PicLab, Plotaverse, Ripple. Okay, so Stephanie says, is it okay if I PM you later? I'm formulating questions for you. Yes, for sure. That's totally fine. So creating a presentation, right, is important for you, but I really believe that, you know, one of the things that's even more important than a presentation is creating those connections in the community that are going to listen to what you're doing, and creating those connections to the people in the community that are going to experience what you're providing. Drumming Sounds, I didn't even have a business card for the first year that I formatted my business. You know why? Because what I was doing was so new when I got into this industry that people didn't even understand it. They didn't understand drumming as a wellness protocol, even though drumming has been a part of humanity's connection to wellness for thousands of years. In fact, you could say it's probably the oldest mind-body wellness activity. It still wasn't even in the radar in the contemporary culture. So what did I want to do? I wanted to do the experience for free and then get the client, and that's what I did. I just went around town and did drum circles, and that was my business card. So there are ways that you can create marketing strategies that aren't even associated, not even having to do a presentation, and that can make your business really get to the next level. One of the things that's really important is to find the correct training, find trainers, find people that believe in you, that people that care about you enough to share with you. You know, when I first started in drum circle facilitation, I went to the #1 drum circle facilitator in the state of Arizona, and I asked him, I said, I have a passion for this, I want to do this. And he basically laughed at me. He wasn't the right fit for me. So I went out and I researched, and I found mentors, and I found people, and I paid for trainings, and I traveled around. I have thousands of dollars invested in my training as a drum circle facilitator, and a passion for doing what we do, and that was kind of help too to get me to that place. So let me see here. Has your rate increased over the years? Oh my gosh, yeah, my rate has increased. We're doing corporate work that now is phenomenal, the amount of money that we're getting from some of the corporate work. I mean, we worked with Charles Schwab, for instance. We've worked with Cancer Treatment Centers of America on a corporate level, not just for the patients, but doing team building with them. We worked with Friendship Village, one of the largest organizations, retirement communities, CCRC, continuing care retirement communities in the state. We're in Washington, we're going to the Credit Union Development and Education Conference. 100 individuals that are involved in the credit union industry, they're paying us money that is, we're making in 3 days what most people make in probably 3 months. It's money that is really benefiting us and benefiting the community and giving us the opportunity to take a month off. I don't know very many people that can take an entire month off and go to the national forest and travel and still be able to pay their bills. That's the kind of ability that these programs can get you. Okay, so Phoenix here is asking, would universities make sense to work with? Universities, I feel that that's a great question, Phoenix. And one of the people that I'm mentoring right now is a graduate from a college, right, that they have actually, through his live feeds, okay, they're both, this person that I'm mentoring is a Southwest Institute of Healing Arts graduate. His partner is a Southwest Institute of Healing Arts graduate. We're working together right now on a campaign that gets him as a influencer in the community to bring people. He's basically already brought 3 students to SWIHA, and his lady has brought, I believe, 3 students to SWIHA just from interaction in the community and telling them. They're doing festivals primarily, so they're around young people. And if your vehicle of wellness is geared towards the millennial generation, I would say partnering with the university is a phenomenal resource for you. Partnering with an organization or a college that is in healing arts. If you're a massage therapist, if you're a yoga practitioner, go back to the people that taught you how to do yoga and say, hey, this is the list of my live feed views. These are the people that I'm influencing. I would love to make you a partner with me. And at the beginning of my live feeds, I'll mention that I learned this information from this organization. Nikki, if there's books that you've read, if there's authors out there that would sponsor you, these are ways that you can look at creating strategic alliances with organizations that will help fuel you. Phoenix, if you were to find a college or a school out there that really is in alignment with your moral values and could help you facilitate that type of community engagement, fantastic opportunity to create experiential marketing around wellness programs. Great question. So if there's anybody else there, let's throw around some ideas here. Let's talk. I'll be real honest with you. My minimum rate in a community engagement that's not corporate, if I'm working for let's say a retirement community, if I'm out there doing the work, I have a minimum rate that I've set that I really don't budge from nowadays. I don't go under that amount, and that's important. But at the beginning of my business, right, that was a lot more flexible. I was a lot more flexible in what I would do, but now it's like my calendar fills up so quickly that I don't want to waste my calendar space for doing events that are not going to pay me what I feel I'm worth. Number 2, if an organization contacts me and says, hey, we'd love for you to come out and do a drum circle for this group of people, and they can't pay me what my minimum is, and they say to me, well, this is all I have for my budget, the conversation is going to be usually like, okay, well, I would rather do it for free if it's an at-risk population or a population that I know that I'm going to benefit from doing this event for. If I feel like I'm motivated from my heart space to do the event, I would rather do it for free than lower my rate. And that just feels good to me. Offices that share workspace for a shared rate. I feel like that could be, if you were to bring them businesses, if you were to bring them business owners for a wellness-based event to their office space, and they could in turn, like for instance, if you were to offer, there are wellness companies, wellness organizations in town here that have massage rooms. right? And if you were to do an event and you were to say to them, I'm really a part of the Arizona massage community, or the California massage community. And I have a list, I'm networked with 30 massage therapists. And I would love to come in and do a free guided imagery meditation or sound healing for these massage therapists. And in turn, you could do a tour of your facility that offers massage therapy rooms. You see, what you're doing is you're creating strategic alliance. You're meeting the needs of the massage therapist and also meeting the needs of the organization that you're going to do your event at. Location, location, location. That is a perfect example. Thank you, Phoenix, for sharing that one, because that gets everybody's juices flowing. For instance, REI. I mean, we've all bought some camping gear from REI. Most of us that like good camping gear, right? If you go to REI, they have a list of experiences that they offer inside of REI. They do everything from climbing workshops to what are the foods that you need to take on a backpacking mission, to how to paddleboard. They even have yoga and meditation at REI. So you see, these are companies that are in the know, that are going to really benefit you if you create strategic alliances with them to produce your wellness-based event. Yeah, libraries are a great place, but they're I don't know exactly if you could facilitate a sponsored event at a library. That's one of the things that you need to be mindful of, is a lot of organizations out there, you need to have a meeting with them in order to identify what their rules and regulations are. Like, for instance, tomorrow I'm meeting with the city of Phoenix to talk about ways that I can design wellness programs for their seniors that cost them zero money, but in turn are sponsored by insurance brokers. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to meet with them. They have 16 senior centers, and they have another 6 low-income HUD housing communities that are basically organized by the city of Phoenix. I want to create a strategic alliance with them so that I can go in and do my programs for free to the residents, to the senior centers, and not tax the Phoenix city government any money, but are being sponsored by the insurance brokers. So, all right, Nikki says, and find a couple of sponsors that do relaxation oils or supplements. Exactly, Nikki. These are ones that you could really, women's shelters, rehabs, and maybe even prisons. Okay, now those organizations right there, right? If you could look at like the statistical data in association, because this is one of the things that maybe you haven't thought about, Nikki, is that those low income women and those families, right? There may be multiple different brands of low-income insurance that they are accessible to, because some of them may be SMI, they may be severely mentally ill. You may be able to get sponsored, right, to do your coaching business by an insurance broker that deals in Medicare insurance. If you word it right and you get specific about the population, it could happen, to be honest with you, even going into shelters. But there's a ton of work in the senior market right now. And if you could design a program that really helps elders, if you have a heart for elders and you have a heart for the elderly, just a massive amount of work right now for wellness programs with our elders. Because number one, what wellness programs do and what coaching sessions can do is they can alleviate the loneliness that's inside of our elder community, which is the causality of many of them going to the hospital. Some of these elders go to the hospital just because they're lonely, because there's nobody to talk to, because there isn't anybody in the community outreaching to them. We've gone over a lot here. Please share this. There's a lot of amazing information in this video that can really help our community thrive and can help wellness practitioners out there make a difference in the community. Specifically, Phoenix, one of the things that I thought about you as an ecstatic dance facilitator, like I said, with the idea and the concept of luxury apartment complexes. Some years ago back, right, I researched a company out there. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you, because this is an amazing idea that could easily be transferred. Okay, I'm going to drop a bomb right here on a website that this concept is gonna, man, this is amazing stuff right here. Okay, so years ago, right, I was looking at, I was a pastor of a major church in Phoenix, Arizona, and we were doing outreach to apartment complexes, and I found this ministry called apartmentlife.org. Now, this is an opportunity here that I feel as a wellness community, right, is something that is completely untapped. So apartment complexes, they don't want to just have residents. They want to have a community. And whether it's luxury apartment complex or kind of the middle tier apartment complex, most of them have some kind of community room. And this community room is an awesome opportunity for you to do wellness programs, for you to do your yoga, to do your Tai Chi, to do your ecstatic dance, to do your nutritional classes, your coaching classes, your raw food classes, whatever it is. Now, this organization that I put in your apartment life, what they've done is they've created an opportunity with the Christian community. And they go in and they bring Christian ambassadors into apartment complexes that are owned by Christians. And these Christian ambassadors, when the new people come, they give them a basket of fruit, and they pray with them when their needs are. When they have needs, they meet their spiritual needs for the community, and guess what? They don't pay for their apartment. So, Nikki, think about this in your life, right? If you were to do this as, aligning yourself as a spiritual coach, right? If you were to take this to an apartment owner in your community and say, hi, my name is Nikki Wall. These are my stats. These are what I do, right? This is my social media footprint. These are the engagements I have on my Facebook page, the stuff that I talk about, and I have a heart for community. What I would love to propose to you is that I know that you're losing residents because they don't feel engaged in the community. I want to be that engagement. I want to be that vehicle for engagement. And in turn, I will provide 3 engagements a month, 4 engagements a month, 5 engagements a month, whatever it is that you feel the company would be able to create in reciprocity for you. And then in turn, you become that community liaison. So these are ideas, right, that I've been throwing around in my brain, and they're very beneficial. They're ones that we could easily influence as a wellness community and make a difference in the world. So much opportunity out there right now. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and close up unless there's, yeah, brother, it's a big one, big vision here, big vision. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please share the video. There's a lot of information here. All right, blessings all. You guys are great. Love this community. Love you guys. Hope you got something from this live. Be blessed.